Hey everyone! This is my first live video! Hey guys! Yay! Happy Monday! It's very gloomy here in Toronto. Kind of hoping the sunshine would be out today, but you know, what are you gonna do? Hi Alana! Thanks for tuning in! Hi Danielle! Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is like a party. I'm just gonna wait till more people come in. Welcome to Power Lunch, my new thing on my channel. I'm very, very excited to start this. I've been wanting to start this for like some time now. And you know what, I was like, finally, I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna start it. And yeah, so I'm starting this Power Lunch Hour IG Live every Monday at 1. And really the reason why I wanted to do it is because I think, first of all, it's so important to, continue to grow and learn every day. I wanted to create a community, a resource for other business owners, whether they're just starting out or, whether they're, aspiring to be a business owner or if they're a seasoned business owner. I wanted to create like a community where we can kind of all learn from each other. And I'm excited to have people who are killing it in their industry talk about their business, like how they got started, how they're pivoting during, a crisis like the pandemic, what are some new trends that they're trying out, and basically all the things that can help a business grow. I personally didn't come from a business background. I didn't even come from a PR background. I just kind of figured it out along the way. And one of the things that I was always so grateful for was the ability to have access to people who really kind of paved the way for me, taught me how to do things. I have some incredible people who have been my mentors along the way. And, they've really taught me everything I needed to learn about how to start a business. And, to this day, I still go to them for advice, whether that's, about branding or finances or, how to really just market yourself out there. So I'm excited to have different guests every week who are going to share their side of the story of how they created their businesses and all that stuff. So I'm very, very excited. And then the other thing I wanted to also say that every week I'm going to be covering a topic about, things that you guys want to know based on my own expertise. So I know a lot of people come to me to ask me about PR, how to promote their businesses, how to stand out, social media stuff. That's another thing that I know a lot of people are very curious about when starting a business, like how to how to create the best kinds of campaign online, and also like how to be consistent really with their social media. I know that was one of the questions I got from someone. They wanted to ask me about, how do I keep consistent on social media? Like, how do I come up with content? So those are things that I'm going to address in the beginning of each week. And then and then, if you guys have questions, of course, like I'm happy to answer them too. But really, this is, a community for business people, aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, and all that to kind of come together. Oh my God, so many. Thanks, Mohit. Mohit's awesome, guys. So anyways, I'm excited because today my guest is, first of all, she's my good friend, Nicole Rosove. And Nicole and I actually met, funny enough, through our sorority in Ottawa. And we've just remained friends for the last, oh my God, how long has it been? Jeez, I feel like I'm going to age us, Nicole, so I'm sorry. But it's been a while. And we've just remained friends. And, I'll let her tell her story, but she's a dancer. And I've always known her to be this like fierce dancer in university. And, in the last few years, she started her own company called Run the Flex, which is really exciting. And I've actually like watched her grow from, this dancer choreographer to owning her own business. So I'm really excited for her to tell her story of how she kind of, started her business, and, how her and her partner are working through the pandemic. Because obviously, as we know, in Ontario, we're in like the 5th million lockdown, which is not fun. But I really admire her and her partner for pivoting and making their business work for them. Like, they've been teaching a lot of classes online. I've taken a lot of their classes, by the way. So if you're ever looking to like kind of have a little dance party in your living room and stay fit, you guys got to follow them. Run the Flex. They've been doing workshops on Zoom and stuff. So, I'm excited to ask her how, they're pivoting their businesses or their business during the pandemic. So that's going to be fun. She's joining me at 1:10 p.m., which will be cool. Actually, I wanted to go back to what I was talking about earlier, because I know someone asked me about, how do I keep consistent with my social media postings. I know that's one of the things that a lot of businesses have been struggling with. Like, what do I post today? And like, how do I come up with content? Actually, she just joined. Priscilla, hi. She's the one that asked me about this, like how to keep consistent on social media. And honestly, the biggest thing for me personally that has worked extremely well is, setting up a calendar. First of all, I'm very type A, so I like to have things lined up for the next, I like to see things in front of me, and like I like to see things lined up. So, if you just started a business and you're like, oh my God, what do I post? And like how do I keep consistent? Honestly, a calendar is so helpful for me. In the past, I've even like printed out an actual calendar, and then like I go through the days, and then I just write down, on like Monday, this is what I'm going to post. On, Tuesday, this is what I'm going to post. It kind of helps you to see kind of like the month ahead, and you don't even have to plan a month ahead. You can do like weeks ahead and see how that works for you. And then, kind of just have a visual of like how you want the next month to look like. And then the other thing that really helped me, is kind of coming up with a theme. So depending on your business, for example, I'm just going to use you, Priscilla, as an example, but my lovely friend Priscilla, she started a clothing company with her mom, which I'm so proud of you, by the way. So she started this clothing company, and, I think with fashion, like it's so easy to come up with, different themes for the week. So even if it's like, Mondays are OOTD days, and then Tuesdays or Thursdays, you dedicate to like street style, so it's kind of coming up with those different themes for the week so that you keep consistent with your posts. I find those are super, super helpful. So yeah, social media is a lot of work. People think it's just like, oh, let's post a fun photo. But like for businesses, it is a lot of work, because you do have to think about like, what am I going to post? How am I going to do this? So, I think in the beginning, when you're getting the hang of things, like it's really about just writing out a plan. A plan is always a good thing to have. And then from there, like once you get used to it, once you're comfortable posting, then, it just gets easier over time. I mean, I've been on social media for a very, 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 very long time. So I kind of have the groove of it, but yeah, hopefully that helps. So, so I'm excited. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay, so Nicole and I are going to be talking shortly. So if you guys have any questions for her, just comment, leave stuff on the comments, and then I'll make sure to ask her for it. So, yay! Is everyone having a good Monday? So for those who joined, thank you. Yay. All right, so yay. Okay, it's just waiting.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you see me? I like set. Hold on.
I can see you.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix this. Hi. Thank you so much for having me, Amy. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for being my first guest. Like, can we just talk about that?
honored, first of all. I'm like, wow, this means a lot. Thank you so much.
No, honestly, I'm so excited. I think like a lot of people are gonna learn a lot from you. And also I think like it's to me like the pandemic has been so challenging for so many people, but especially for a
Yeah.
business like yours, where like you literally have to be in front of people to be able to like provide your service, I guess, you know? So
Yep.
I personally admire what you and Aaron have been doing, like doing the Zoom, and we'll get into that, but like doing the Zoom virtual classes and just like, you know, posting on TikTok. So I really admire that. And I just want to give you guys props for that. So
Oh my God. Well, thank you. And back at you. If anyone doesn't know, Amy is quite the hip hop star herself. So
I mean, I'm trying. I love that. Seriously, guys, if you're looking for a great dance party in your own living room, just follow Run the Flex, and I'm gonna like put that in the comments. But so anyways, let's get into it.
yes.
So tell us about like yourself and your business and what Run the Flex is all about.
Yeah, totally. So, hey guys, I'm Nicole. So I actually grew up in Ottawa. I think Amy mentioned that before. We went to university together. And after graduating, I knew I took a degree in communications, but I knew I wanted to work in dance and be a dancer and choreographer. And so I quickly moved to Toronto. I got an internship. And a couple of years into living in the city, I met Aaron, who's actually my fiance now. He's a super cool dancer that I was like, wow. And he's also a teacher. And honestly, if you've ever taken his class, he's one of the best teachers I know. I'm without the bias. He has so much patience, whether you have 10 years of experience or zero experience. So Aaron and I were both teaching drop-in classes, him more so at a studio in Toronto, the Underground Dance Center. And what was happening was I was assisting him in his classes, and he had a lot of students at the end of the hour, because each class was about an hour, saying,
Yeah.
oh, this is so great. Are you teaching this routine again next week? Or, you know, I want more. How can I get more? And so it was around that time that Aaron and I started to brainstorm together the idea of what more could be, right? There was clearly this interest. And I have to say the people who were interested weren't already dancers in the industry, who already like knew, they were already deep in it, doing their own thing. It was people who had 9-to-5s, people who all walks of life, all ages, saying like, hey, look, like we had, you know, one of our first students, like I'm 43 years old. I have a really intense job and I love dancing after work as my way to let loose. I prefer it over going to the gym. What more can you offer me right now? I really want something consistent. So all these conversations led us to come up with this idea for Run the Flex. Which it's Aaron can explain the name better, but essentially it's this idea of like being in control of your own life and being confident. Often the word flex is like associated with, let's say, like showing off or kind of like, you know, flexing. But for us, it's actually more about the idea of being proud of who you are and being proud of what you can do. So we wanted to take that concept to create our sort of umbrella for Run the Flex by allowing people to dance and do something that they might not otherwise do or people wouldn't expect them to do, right? And it really didn't matter if you were good or not, or quote unquote looked cool. All that mattered was that you tried something new. So from there, we started simply by renting space in the city. This was about 4 years ago, where we had 6-week sessions. So people would come for 2 weeks at a time. It was purely just beginner dancers. And from there it built. We had people who continuously kept coming back saying, what's next? So we were like, that's a great question. So then we introduced other levels. We introduced a year-round program where people like every week would come train with us. From there were performance opportunities. We did little concept videos. And I think, again, what was really cool from us was our age range was literally 19 to 69, I think was our oldest student. Yeah, we started doing kind of these almost like pop-up Run the Flex versions. We did one in Pickering with like a group of moms who are so cool. Every Saturday morning we would go. And again, like, you know, I think when you're older in life, dance, let's say like ballroom styles is a little bit more, I guess, normalized. Right. Whereas something like hip hop, a lot of people say, oh, well, I didn't do it as a kid and now I'm too old and I'm not going to be cool. So for us, our idea over the time became normalizing dance for all ages and all abilities and all stages of life. So it's been 4 years. We've evolved, as Amy knows, into different types of classes. Now we're online for the pandemic, but we're really, really grateful to have continued it despite this time that we're in.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I didn't even know the story I should have asked you the story behind Run the Flex, because I freaking love that, because you know, like when you go into a dance studio, you don't have an experience with dancing. You get like nervous and you're like, well, do I look stupid? Do I look dumb? So I love that you're like, just run with a confidence and just be like cool and just be like, just dance, just have a good time, you know? So
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. And I love the fact that you've had someone as old as, did you say 69?
I will show you this video after. We filmed a video of this woman. It was actually a woman and her mom, I think she said she was about 69, maybe even 70.
Wow.
Walks into the studio with a backwards cap, baggy pants, and she's like, let's go. And killed it. And that's what was amazing. The other thing too with Run the Flex, and you know, I can attribute so much of this to Aaron and his genius and creativity, is like, you know, in the world today of like TikTok and everybody wanting to dance, which is amazing, there's also a lot of misinformation and a lot of lack of crediting where moves come from, right? So for us, being in hip hop, like it's been so important to recognize the culture and the history behind it, which is so deep. And like even for me, I feel like I've only just scratched the surface in terms of knowledge. So within our classes, not only are you dancing, but you're understanding where these moves came from, and as a result they sit in your body more, because you're like, I get what this is, not just like, okay, I'm just copying these things and I feel kind of crazy. So.
Which I personally love so much, because like when I dance with you guys, I know like with Aaron, like he always explains like, oh, this the history of this move was from Brooklyn, and yeah. I personally didn't know that. So it's like having that concept in your mind, you're kind of like more into the dance. So it's kind of like educational.
Yeah, you are getting a history lesson, and you appreciate it more too, right? Because it's like, who are the founders? Who did create this? Why? These moves aren't random. We're not doing, like Amy will know, like the Bart Simpson or the Biz Markie, like, you know, I won't quiz you on them, don't worry. Yeah, but like they all came from people and their stories. They weren't just like, oh, we're just going to make this cool move. So when you understand it more, it feels better.
I love that. Okay, so one of the things that, you know, I feel like a lot of people fear, one of the things that I find people fear in business is like, what if I fail? Or like, what if I do something wrong? But personally, like, I find when a challenge comes my way, like it's my way of like, okay, I need to grow from this. Like, what do I need to learn from this? So like, what is a challenge that you guys have, you know, had with your business, and how did you overcome it?
So honestly, I think one of the biggest challenges for us is bridging the gap between dancers and non-dancers. I'm gonna shout them out because I see some of them in the training. But so I trained for years, and it's on pause right now because of the pandemic, which makes me sad, with a crew in Toronto called Footnotes, run by Pyro and Mariano, the most amazing dancers and teachers. And because I was already so interested in dance, it was so easy for me to step into that space. And it's a street style space, meaning that it's focused on freestyle dance rather than choreography. And like, I knew nothing. Like, I was so bad, but I was able to go into the space and feel safe with dancers and people that I was so inspired by. But it was easy for me to take that step into an intimidating room because I wanted it so badly. So I remember being like, okay, I know I kind of suck right now, but these people around me inspire me to be better. Now, if you've never danced before and you want to, it's going to be a lot scarier to take that first step into the room. Even if it's, hey, this is a beginner, no experience needed space. Dance, even though it is such a natural human thing, it's also really intimidating when eyes are on you, right? As you know, and people, we always heard this, oh, that's so cool, I would love to dance with you guys, but I only dance when I go out to the clubs and I've had 3 shots of vodka. Like, that's true. And to be honest, like, all of us have a little bit more confidence when we're, you know, a little loosey-goosey. So I think that, like, the thing is, our biggest challenge has been getting people to walk over that bridge into our class. We luckily, you know, and again, I attribute it to Aaron's amazing teaching ability and his way of easing people and making them feel comfortable. Once people are in, as you know, it's like a party, and all of a sudden, like in the first minute, you're like, I'm nervous what's happening. By the end, you're like, I don't care, I'm ready to go out. Like, seriously, as you know, like, guys, I have videos of Amy. But that's the thing. So getting people to take their first step in has been the most challenging thing for us, and it's something that we're still working on because it is intimidating. But again, our goal is to get people to say, again, like, run the flex, like, run with your confidence, believe in yourself. This is a no judgment zone. We don't care what you look like, we care how you feel, right? Aaron and I are still learning things ourselves, you know, so that's been a hurdle. And also, I do have to say, it definitely is something that you would think online would be, people would be like, oh, I can just go into Zoom and turn my camera off. But in fact, we've actually found the opposite. We found that, you know, when you're going into a studio with other people, that community and in-person interaction actually eases people a bit more. Online, people are saying, yeah, I love it, but I'm too intimidated to go on camera, as they say.
Oh,
So
that's funny. That's interesting.
yeah.
I guess that's kind of true because you're kind of like, when you're on Zoom, it's like you're kind of like in the spotlight, whereas where you're in the studio, you can kind of hide a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so for us, it's just trying to continue to get people to dip their toes in and make our environment as welcoming as we possibly can.
Which I love, and you guys are super welcoming. So actually, speaking of that, like, you know, how, I mean, obviously you guys have moved things online, but how have you really pivoted your business during the pandemic? And like, what advice do you have for other, you know, business owners who are basically in the same predicament?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, I do have to say, like, we never owned or rented a physical space. Like, we didn't have a lease. And my heart goes out to people who do, because our friends who own businesses or fitness studios that I love, watching them, like, through this time is devastating, because there's so many businesses that have even, like, that have shuttered or are just, like, they're so strapped financially because how can they pay rent? So, like, I think that that's on a whole other level. And luckily for Aaron and I, the studio that we used, it was at Young and Bloor. We just kind of have a credit on file with them. So we didn't lose any money from that sense. But it has been really difficult. We had a whole 2020 and 2021 calendar year set up with partnerships and in-studio classes and some other exciting things that we'll just push to 2022 at this point. So there are a couple of things that I think have really helped. One is, if you're a business owner during this time, within sort of, I guess, the industry-ish, like fitness, wellness, whatever, leaning on your current community for support and being okay to ask for help, I think, is a big one. You know, we really started going to our current community and our loyal students, saying, okay, we need your support. Even if you can't dance right now, buy a gift card, buy merchandise, leave us a Google review, like, share on your social, like, tell a friend, you know, because at the end of the day, the people who love what you do are the ones that are going to talk most authentically about it. So we said, okay, our community is still relatively small, but we have some, like, diehard Run the Flex students, and they are our microphone to the world. And we're so grateful for them, because they constantly are sharing what we do. I actually want to shout out, we have this one student named Jamie Monte. She's a bookkeeper and just like a whiz in the accounting world. And she posts these amazing reels every week of her, like, teaching about bookkeeping while dancing and doing, like, moves she learned from Run the Flex.
What?
So, like, yeah, it's so cool. I'll send it to you after. But, like, we're like, wow, that's such a cool way to integrate, like, us and what you've learned into your own practices. So little things like that, even though for her it's like probably whatever, to us that means so much. So definitely leaning on your community, leaning on other small business owners. We've reached out and partnered with other small businesses over the pandemic to cross promote, to lead online classes. So just remembering, like, there is a community here and how we can support each other is really key. And then I would say third is being as innovative and just as creative. I know it can be exhausting, but just to keep going. We've tried things that have worked, like certain workshops. We were so excited the second we posted them, they, you know, sold out. And then others where it's like, we posted it and we had 2 registrants and had to cancel, right? So I think it's being creative and innovative and constantly coming up with new ways to offer your services online. And also just being really real with, like, your community. Like, we've said to people, look, we get the online experience is really different than the in-studio experience, but that doesn't mean it isn't great. Like, you took a class, right? Like, you still had fun. We still had
so much fun
dance party, but it is going to be different. And I think that makes it all that much more exciting to get back into studio. But this is what we have to do right now to keep things moving.
Absolutely. And I, to be honest, like, I love, you know, we're all in the same situation. Like, we're all in lockdown right now. So, like, things are going to be different. And I love, like, how honest you are with your, you know, with your clients or with your, you know, with the people that follow you, that, you know, this is going to be different, but we're still going to have fun. Like, we're still going to do this, and we're still going to have a dance party. And I think, like, that energy is so contagious. Like, for me, like, even when you guys are teaching and it's on my screen, like, and you're not in front of me, like, I still feel that, like, hype from you guys. So I think it's just about, you know, I don't want to say like, oh, let's like continuously stay positive, because obviously we have hard moments, but I think it's just keep going. And like I love that. And I love, you know, I love when you said like lean on your community, lean on your followers, because those are the diehard fans that are going to keep supporting you till the end. So
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so another question I have is, tell me about an aha moment in your business where you thought like, oh my God, I finally achieved like that level of success that I've been working so hard for.
Yeah, okay. Well, I still feel like we have a lot of goals and a lot of things we
Right.
want to achieve. Like I said, like it's a journey, but there's been a few key moments, and honestly, they all have to do with our community. I think what Erin and I didn't realize when we started out was not like how much this meant to us, but how much Run the Flex would mean to other people. So like one key moment was so the company that we train with year round, we took them in the past to Ottawa actually every year for this like hip hop showcase. And we would train them and we would go there and we would do this show with other dancers. And again, the cool thing is like, you know, this is a bunch of 25 to 45-year-olds who would never otherwise have the opportunity to perform. So we would go to this showcase. And last year when we went, or 2019, I should say, we had a dinner and we basically all got together, and Erin and I made a little like compilation, a montage video for them to basically like document our journey and also thank them for like their continued sort of investment in us and in dance. And we were all just like sitting around with like, you know, 16 people, and everyone was sharing, I guess, like their moments and their experience and like why they're there. And Erin and I just like looked at each other and like we just felt like we were so happy, because we were like, wow, like we unknowingly built this community, and it's so like these are some of our really good friends now, and seeing how it's changed their lives really meant a lot to us. And that's kind of continued to happen. Like we've had students take classes and then send us these emails being like, I just want to say, like, I've been struggling with depression and like this has pulled me out of it, or like I'm new to the city and I had no friends and now I have a community. Success stories have been like there's been relationships that have formed. We have like couples now through Run the Flex. We have people teamed up. Yeah, like it's really taken on a life of its own. So it's not sort of one moment, but I think it's those moments over time that have encouraged us to keep going with it, and to remind us like, okay, we're doing something right. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. So I love that you guys like have also created couples within the community. I love that so much. Like
matchmaking over here.
Dancers, matchmakers. Okay, my final question.
Yeah.
What song are you currently nonstop dancing to?
Okay, I really like the new Justin Bieber album.
Me
like,
too.
Okay, and I feel like it just has like a summer vibe, and it like makes me hopeful that I can see my friends in the summer and actually do fun things. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I've been listening to that a lot and making Aaron listen to. Well, he really likes it as well, and just kind of like playing it in the living room. So
it's so good.
It's really good.
It's so good. I mean, I don't know. He sometimes JB kind of like bothers me, but most times like I love his music, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for being my first guest. Can you please tell everyone like where to follow you guys and how to sign up for like classes? Do you have workshops coming up? Like promote the crap out of your business.
Okay, thank you. First of all, Amy, I just need to say, I mean, you guys follow her, so you know, but like I've always been so inspired by Amy as a businesswoman. Like we reconnected again, like she said, knew each other in university, but like I've been following her journey, and you would really inspire me. And I feel like even how you embrace social in a way that I feel like is really authentic to you, like Amy in person, guys, behind the screen is the same as Amy. Like she's very real. She doesn't turn on this thing. And I just, I'm really grateful, and I'm really excited for your journey. And I'm going to definitely tune into the next, sessions and see who you have on, because I think this is really cool. So thank you.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to, because I think a lot of people don't realize like my nickname is Amy. A lot of people know me as Amira.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be sorry, because I'm like, I just need to clarify that, because everyone's going to be like, who's that? But that's my nickname. So just letting everybody know. Yes. But thank you for the kind words. I mean, you inspire me. You inspire me like all the time, and like just watching your growth and like where you've come from, because I've known you for so long, like over 10 years. Like it's crazy.
Crazy.
Isn't that insane? I'm like, what is happening? Like, where did the time go? But yeah, no, I've seen your growth, and like you're just gonna keep soaring from here. So you keep going. Anyways, promote
Thanks.
Tell me what's going on for Run the Flex.
Okay, so here's the deal. Right now, so we have 2 things coming up. All right, you guys, if you're watching this and you're like, I kind of want to dance, now is your time. We have a workshop. So what we've done is we've created a workshop called Drills and Conditioning, which is designed for, again, the complete beginner or people who have a little bit of experience and just want to groove. This workshop starts next Monday. It's on Mondays and Thursdays. It's half an hour classes twice a week, which are kind of what we wanted to do is we wanted to really make it about like people need to sweat right now. People need to move. People need to feel good while in lockdown. So we wanted it to be a really accessible, easy way to move and to do it in a fun way. So the class is basically going to be a little bit of like conditioning, some cardio, and then a lot of hip hop grooves that are totally follow along. So it's kind of this combo, like 30 minutes full out. We always provide modifications too. So if you have injuries or you can't like jump or anything like that, no sweat. And so that will be, oh my gosh, the time. Mondays, 6:30 to 7. Thursdays, 5:30 to 6 EST. It's $49 for 6 classes, so it's like super cheap. Also, like if money's an issue right now, you can always message us. We accommodate everybody's just because we know how important movement is. So you can follow us at Run the Flex.
Yep.
On Instagram. We also have a website, runtheflex.com, which you'll see. Click the link in our bio. We have embraced TikTok.
Yes.
But I didn't realize with TikTok, because I'm old and new, that like when you create the name, you can't change it for 30 days. So basically it's Aaron and Nick, AARON and Nick, and I see. We'll eventually change it to Run the Flex, where you see us doing ridiculous dances in our living room, basically. And then, and the only other thing we have is at the end of the month, so the last 2 Thursdays of the month, again, this is all on our Instagram. We have 2 pop-up classes, which are an hour. Again, they're for the beginner or like sort of, a little bit of experience. Like I'd say, Amy, you'd be great for it.
Yes.
And they're just an hour of really fun dance, jam classes. Again, we've had a lot of people being like, I want to make TikToks and I want to make Instagram dance reels. And we're like, okay, we got you people. So yeah, it's just going to be like a vibe and you can record yourself dancing after, post it or not post it, whatever you want. So yeah, it's all on our website. It's all on our social. And the only other thing is like when it's safe to do so, we're going to go into outdoor classes this summer. We usually do them at the Bentway. So yeah, just stay tuned to our social for details.
Oh my God, guys, if you live in Toronto, you have to do the in-person outdoor class because they're so much fun. They're so much fun.
We should insert a clip of Amy dancing.
I know, right? Insert a clip right here, just dancing. But Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're amazing. This was the best way to like start the Monday and the week. So thank you for being my first guest.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. I'm honored. Okay.
Love you.
Bye.